On Barry Charles Footy Show today. Yes, indeed. Peter vlandys goes berserk with 10-year bans for R360. Yes, that's what was in the news last week. Has rugby league been than it ever been before? And should we go to 20 teams? Who should that team be? And how should that structure look all around the game? Let's get to it right here, right now on Barry Charles Footy Show. Welcome back, guys and gals. Yes, well, obviously, rugby league season done and dusted in terms of the NRL, but international football is here. And the berserk suggestions from Peter vlandys that you're going to be banned for 10 years, you cannot play our game, it's just absolutely ludicrous. I can't see how it can hold up in court. It just seems madness. But yes, who do I think is still going to go? I think for R360, if this is what it is. These are ways you want to go. You got a player like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck coming to the end of his career, looking for a payday. That you're always going to get those players. It happens all the time, even in the league. Some good players, they were at a top club and they go to a lower club to get the money. That's what it happens all the time. It just depends on what your motivation is. People looking to set up their family for life. That's the question mark. Those are the ones that are gonna go. And they can be the likes of Jai Gray. Jai Gray will not get that sort of money here in the NRL at this stage, unless he goes up to Reece Walsh levels. But I don't think so. He's got to take the money. He just got to take the money. If he gets anywhere near a mil, he just got to take it. Jai Gray, got to go. In my opinion, that's what you got to do. It might ruin your career playing for. But he would make, in those 3 years, he'd make the money he would make out of a whole career in the NRL. You've got to take it while it's there. I think for those types of players. But the players at the top of their game, it depends on their motivation. If they want to win premierships, they'll stay in rugby league. But if it's about money and seeing the world, then he would go to R360. So in terms of the current players, so Tuivasa-Sheck for sure. You got Pappenhausen, you got Will Kennedy. These guys only signed 1 year deals, folks. That's what I'm telling you now. Will Kennedy took a less deal, and I think that's because he was going to go to R360 and everything else in between. And there's also something else I wanted to talk about, Jess, before we get to the rest. Metcalf is on his way out of the Warriors. Yes, from all reports, there's only one club, and one club only if he is going to leave the Warriors, and that's the Cronulla Sharks. Yes, they won't say it publicly, but Cronulla Sharks is secretly trying to get back their man. Yes, and that would mean Will Kennedy goes to R360, and Nico Hines can go back to fullback and make this team better. That's what they're looking at right here, right now. The Sharkies are looking at Luke Metcalf. Yes, you heard it here first. Sharkies or Luke Metcalf. In terms of the competition right now, what's happening? The games have been very close all season, and even in the internationals right now, it's been outstanding. The question mark you got to say, while we've got all these close games, is it rigged? Are the referees allowing the team that is losing to get back into the game? We'll give them a couple of extra sick tackle penalties, and they get up and back into the game. That's a question mark you could argue at the moment. But yes, in terms of what I see, it's been great football. Well, I just want to do some shout outs. Bulla, what a game during Bulla for Fiji, absolutely outclassing. The Kiwi Ferns coming back from 20-0 down to win 22-0, unbelievable. And Joseph Tapine and Casey McLean, outstanding for New Zealand over Payne Haas, who played well as well in the Pacific Champs. What a game. No, great game of football, and that leads on to some great games going forward. Can Samoa beat Tonga, or Samoa out straight away? This is a big game for Samoa. Obviously, if they lose, they are gone for sure. So they need to win. So pressure is on Samoa out of the teams right here, right now. Looking at the future, yes, we know Perth is coming in. We know Papua New Guinea is coming in. Where's the talent going to come from? I've got no issue with Papua New Guinea. I believe within 5 years, they will be 25 players will be from Papua New Guinea. I think that's what will happen, unless they keep this extra. You can get double your pay, and I mean tax incentives. Then some of the younger players will go to Papua New Guinea for a payday as well. That's where that's heading in Papua New Guinea. Perth is a little bit different situation. Do people want to live in Perth? That's the question mark they're having. No, I think there's a bigger question mark over that. But if we're going to 20 teams, and who is that going to be? The talks of maybe the Shannon in Queensland. Do you go to South Australia? But let's just be realistic. It should be in Christchurch, New Zealand. Christchurch or Wellington, whichever one you want. Don't care which one it is. It's got to be that. Then you've got the New Zealand rivalry. Bang, bang. You can have that. You can have the time slots of a extra or earlier game, right on a Friday or Saturday. They really get the options there in terms of when they can play their games with the WA time slot. So there's a lot of times to make it interesting and to have more day game football, which rugby league loves. But yes, if we went to 20 teams, what should we do? Should we go to conferences, have 10 players, 10 teams in one, 10 in the other? I don't like their concept. I mean, I know they do it in America, but I just don't like it. I think you play every team once, so that makes it a 19-round competition. You have the opportunity, and there'll be buys, but everyone gets to buy at the same time. Now, this is what I'm saying. So instead of having all these buys scattered, get rid of the point system. Then they need some points. They have a buy 3 times of the year, all equally spaced. Everybody gets the same. And what this does is allows the opportunity to have Origin. Now, people saying have Origin standalone. No, it doesn't work. I mean, it'll work, but it doesn't work ideally. Space it out. So you have Origin, say, the same time frame as the Origin normally is, roughly. You say you have 8 games. It might be a little bit earlier, say. So round 8, you got State of Origin. I mean, after round 8, and then after round 11, and after round 14. So you have the games in between. No one misses out. The bye happens their week. So Origin, whether they decide to keep it on a Wednesday, that's up to them. But I think it'll move to a Saturday time slot or Friday time slot, probably Friday. Gives them times to recover and be ready for the next week of rugby league. That's where I think they should head. And you can have other games. So you can have the female version of it as well. So that can be the Saturday game. Whatever you want to do. You could add a New Zealand Origin. This is the stuff I'm talking about. This is where you could really make some changes. You got the same. You could also look at Indigenous versus New Zealand Māori, a three test in that time period as well, just to give more engagement, have more people playing, make it a real spectacle of the weekend. So it's not just one game. They could have 3 or 4 games every weekend when the Origin is on. That's what they should look forward to. So then by the end of round 14, you got 5 rounds of football to go. Everyone's playing. You play everyone once, whether it's at home or away. So every season you're going to have pretty much 10 games at home, 9 away, or vice versa, one or the other. So the hard thing is you're not going to play every team, obviously. I mean, you're not going to have every team at home, but that's just the way it works. Just makes it very much, I think, an even competition and be exciting for everyone out there. Also, just some other things to think about. If we have 20 teams, do we just make it a little bit more fun and have, a lot of people say, don't play all this other stuff, but you could. You could have a complete break for those footballers, but do you add like a 9th, 14th, and 15th to 20th and have a bowl for them as well? So they all play. So the same concept as not quite the top 8, but there'll be 2 in the top 2, so 9 and 10 and 15 and 16. They get to bye the first week. The others play. And then we whittle it down to 4. And boom, boom. And it all can be played on the grand final day. They can work it out how they want to space it, if they give them a week off, whatever that works. And then unbelievable. And that option gives them the chance to make the grand final 2 weeks later as well. There's another option they can have if they want to get rid of this. People not playing the grand final because they're knocked out. That's another option they have. So the rounds, so let's just say, for instance, there's 22 rounds of football. So 19 in a row, and then you have the finals. So there's 25, 26 weeks, then or 25 weeks, and then you can add international calendar, and it's every year. Scrap the Pacific Championship. To me, it's not the way to go. It was alright at the time, but you've got to develop these teams. Papua New Guinea, Fiji, playing the Cook Islands every single year is not the way to develop. I mean, it develops. They've got to play the top teams. So this is how you do it. Slow. You got to work. You got to work slowly. But this is just a demonstration of what they could do. So you can have 2 pools: Australia and New Zealand. Say they're in England and Samoa. Say they're the top 4 teams. Add Tonga in there and Fiji. Then Papua New Guinea, Cook Islands. Just for instance, so you got, instead of having this bye every round, you have 4 teams in each pool. They play each other once, and then first, second. So first in the pool A versus the second in pool B. They have semi-final and final. So that's 5 weeks of football, of international football for them. And you do the same, and then you do another similar thing with 8 other teams. And this is the likes of the Wales, the France, the Scotland, Ireland, South Africa, USA, Lebanon, whatever teams you want to look at, the future, who you think is going to be rugby league, put them together, boom, that's where we go. So you have the 8, and then you got another 8. And get them to play 5 games of international football a year. And then you say the bottom 2 of that competition drop to this one. And then the top 2 go up. Do that every single year, and we start developing more and more good teams in the competition. That's what I like to see. It would really make it good for rugby league. But anyway, that's Bear Charles Footy Show for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll